Most people just need to work harder and more consistently in the gym. Hey everybody, I thought I would chat with you guys and gals about this today. And this is something that needs to be said because I see a lot of people focus on things that really and truly might only matter for that last 1%, for people who are competing at a serious level, in either a physique or a strength sport, right? Very serious competitors. People worry about a lot of details that might only matter to them, or they worry about things that don't matter at all and that are just a complete waste of time, hoping to get better results instead of just working harder and more consistent. And what I mean is people will try to go into pretty complex programming. They're like, oh, here's what I'm missing. I just need to be doing a 6-day-a-week push-pull legs program where we do everything twice, or I need to be doing this complicated 5-day split to where we have a push-pull legs and then an upper lower, and we need to have a power day and a hypertrophy day, right? They get into all these complexities as far as these different periodization models, or the amount of training they need to be doing, excessive amounts of volume, junk volume, instead of just saying, hey, maybe I should just be more consistent and train harder. Because again, I know plenty of people who've gotten to very advanced levels, training 3 or 4 days a week, less than an hour in the gym. And I want to be clear when I say that. I've known plenty of people in both physique and strength areas who train 3 or 4 days a week for an hour or less, who are way, way ahead of the curve. But they're consistent. They're consistent. And they train hard. Other things that people worry about with their training, just trying to put in the silliest movements. The reason I'm not making the gains is because I'm not using this booty band or this specific device. Oh, look at these handles they made for me to do lat pull downs differently. As if regular barbells and dumbbells don't do 100% of what you could possibly need there, right? Everyone always needs a new angle. I'm not saying there aren't a few machines and things that are not really useful. Something innovative like a reverse hyperextension. But because it adds something truly special, it's not just adding a new angle, it is doing specific stuff to help prehab the lower back because of the traction effect it creates. And in fact, that's so good at it that people try to replicate it with other stuff, and I tell them you can't. There's a reason that has a patent. But barring a few special things like that, they don't need all these special things. They don't need a special device. They don't need, it's this one angle, and that's why, because I don't have my a grip to where I can, instead of doing a full hammer grip or a pronated grip, I can get a 45-degree angle on this lat pull down. Now, this is what I need. Or you could just do a pull-up. Okay? And that comes back over to simply just training harder. In other words, if you are struggling to develop your lats, maybe you just need to every week come in and do some weighted pull-ups and actually get the bottom of the range of motion, right? You get the stretch at the bottom, get really strong at weighted pull-ups, okay? Get your 5 to 10 rep max really high, get to where you can use a lot of weight on it. Guess what? You'll have big lats. Your lats will be developed. It'll take time. And I think that's where people mess this stuff up. They're like, well, I've been doing that. Like, well, how long have you been doing that? And do you do it consistently? Okay? Are you doing it consistently, or do you just take time off from it? Right? I see people who do that. They really mess with silly nonsense like, well, I try to do, because this one influencer showed me that I need to do this one arm cable pull down for my lats, like a lat pull down, but I need to line it up so that the angle of the pull lines up perfectly with the muscle fibers in my lats. Okay, so you quit doing the weighted pull-ups to go do this silly nonsense for 3 months. All right, how's that working out? This is why people don't make gains. They quit doing the stuff that they know works because they feel like it's not working as fast as they would like because they didn't put 5 years in. I mean, if it doesn't work in 6 months, then it's just not good, right? So instead of doing it consistently, like doing the actual real hard training, do some weighted pull-up sets to failure. Okay? Do 2 or 3 sets of those every single week, every week year round. Try to progressively get stronger at them. Okay? You'll have good lats. So instead they go mess with this other stuff and then they're not consistent. So doing the correct things and training hard for a really short period of time and then going and messing with a bunch of goofball stuff and completely detraining the things that actually work while you go mess with this silly fluff, it's not going to work. Because I am of the opinion that these one-arm lat pull downs that people do, that all you'll see influencers, well, it lines up with the muscle fiber angles, like as if that actually matters, right? As if that's actually how the human body works on the other end of a joint, okay? No, that's not how it works, and that's not helping you. So then they quit doing the weighted pull-ups and they go do this. Well, now you have no consistency because you've quit doing the hard training that works. So whatever progress you made on it detrains, and then you go over to making no progress on this other stuff. And then they come back and say, well, the weighted pull-ups didn't work. Why am I not making gains? That didn't work. You're wrong. The training hard didn't work. And then this biohack I tried didn't work. Like, yeah, because you didn't do anything long enough. You didn't do it consistently. Quit starting back over. Okay? The reason people only get 6 months worth of progress ever after 5 or 6 or 10 years is because they do 3 months of fairly hard training consistently, then they slack off, they restart, they have downtime, they have detraining, and so they just keep repeating the same half of their novice gains over and over and over. Instead of getting in and actually working really hard, and keep in mind, if you work really hard, you can't do a lot of it. Again, that affects consistency because they try to do too much of it instead of the right amount. Then they get burned out, and they either need to change completely what they're doing to something far inferior, which means they lose muscle and lose strength, or they just take a break because they need a break because they're burned out from trying to do too much. Instead of coming over and saying, maybe I just need to train hard consistently for years. That's your solution. That is the solution. It really and truly is. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys and gals next time.